While I was out shoveling snow at 5 a.m. before heading to work, I noticed my wife had left her phone on the kitchen counter, still unlocked. I stepped inside for a quick warm-up, and that's when I saw it light up. Her messages popped up on the screen. "He's out there like an idiot in the blizzard. If we're lucky, he'll have a heart attack and we won't need the divorce." Her lover replied with 3 laughing emojis. I didn't say a word. Just went back outside, cleared the rest of the snow, and left for work like nothing happened. Yesterday, she claimed she didn't mean it, but honestly, I don't know what to believe anymore. I'm using a throwaway for obvious reasons. Long post ahead, but I've got to get this off my chest. Ever have a moment where your whole world shifts, and not the good kind? I'm talking about the kind that feels like the ground disappears under you, and you're just free falling. That was me. It was Wednesday, February 17th. 12 degrees with wind chill, the kind of cold that stings your lungs when you breathe. Still pitch black outside, and we'd gotten another 8 inches of snow. I checked the weather app before bed, blizzard warning until noon. Still set my alarm for 4:45 a.m. I always do. 15 years working at the plant drilled that into me. You don't call off for weather. You show up. Michelle was still asleep when I slid out of bed. We've been married 8 years. She's never once helped shovel snow, never even suggested I stay in bed during a storm. She just expects the driveway to be clear by the time she leaves at 8:30. That's how it's always been. I didn't mind. Or maybe I didn't let myself mind. My dad used to say a man takes care of his home and his family. I lived by that. Looking back, there were signs. So many signs. Late nights, new clothes, more makeup, laughing at messages and quickly locking her screen when I walked by. All classic red flags. But when you're in love and you trust someone, you make excuses. She's just in a good mood. She's networking. She deserves to look good. I was blind. So there I was, layered up, knees deep in snow, shovel scraping across concrete in the freezing dark. No one else around. Just me, my breath fogging up like a smokestack, and the soft yellow glow of our garage light. About halfway through, fingers, already numb, I stepped inside to warm up for a second. Michelle must have come down for water and left her phone on the counter. Nothing unusual. But this time it was unlocked, and the screen lit up just as I walked in. I don't make a habit of snooping. But when you see your own name in a message preview, you look. It's instinct. And there it was. "He's out there like an idiot in the blizzard. If we're lucky, he'll have a heart attack and we won't need the divorce." From Michelle. The reply? 3 laughing emojis. 3 emojis at the thought of me dying in the snow. My chest tightened. Not a heart attack, just sheer disbelief. It's wild how your body reacts when your world flips. I broke out in a cold sweat. Felt this empty pit in my stomach, then this buzzing in my ears like I was standing next to a generator. I just stood there frozen, staring at the screen. I put the phone back where it was, grabbed my gloves, and went back outside. Cleared every inch of the driveway, neat as a machine. I remember thinking with every shovel of snow, I'm not dying today. I'm not giving her what she wants. I drove to work, clocked in, went through the motions while those words played on repeat in my head. If we're lucky, he'll have a heart attack. 8 years. 8 years of being her partner, and she was wishing for my death. That night, Michelle acted like nothing happened. She asked about my day, chatted about the weather, even thanked me for clearing the driveway. I smiled, nodded, and played along. But my mind was spinning. Who was W? How long had this been going on? What divorce? She hadn't said a word about that to me. While she showered, I tried checking her phone again. Password changed, of course. I barely slept. Just lay there staring at the ceiling, listening to her breathe, trying to understand how someone can lie next to you while hoping you don't. Wake up. The next morning, I got up before my alarm, opened our bank app while still in bed. Nothing out of the ordinary, until I noticed she hadn't deposited her full paycheck into our joint account for the past 3 months. Just another red flag. I called in sick for the first time in 2 years, waited for Michelle to leave. Then I searched the house. Nothing in the obvious spots. Then I checked the pocket of her winter coat, the one she never wears. Bingo. A hotel receipt dated 2 weeks ago. Room service for 2. She'd said it was a training weekend. I took photos of everything, like one of those crime dramas she always watches. The irony wasn't lost on me. Then I called my childhood friend Floyd. We've known each other since. We were kids chucking rocks at factory windows. He showed up with coffee and donuts. Sat with me while I laid everything out. "You need to get your stuff in order before she figures out you know," he said mid-bite. "She's planning something. You need to plan better." Floyd's been through 2 divorces. Said the one who strikes first usually wins. He helped me log into our phone account. Michelle and someone saved as William had exchanged over 2,000 texts in a month, hundreds of calls, always during her lunch breaks or when I was working. The call pattern went back at least 6 months. "Classic affair," Floyd said, scrolling. "Starts slow, then ramps up. She's in deep, man." I felt like I was driving a semi with no brakes. Every move risky. Floyd helped me open a new bank account. We transferred half of the savings, money I'd set aside for the kitchen remodel Michelle kept begging for. The irony made me laugh. One of those empty laughs that echo in your skull. That night I watched her closely. How she stared at her phone, how she placed its screen down, how she'd step outside to take calls. That subtle smile when certain texts popped up, all of it. I'd written those things off before, but now they screamed at me. "We should plan a vacation," I said over dinner. "Maybe April." She didn't even look up. "April's busy. Maybe summer." By summer, she planned to be rid of me, either through divorce or a convenient medical emergency. That thought made me clench my fork so hard my knuckles turned white. That weekend, I started cataloging everything we owned. The house, the cars, the furniture, the accounts, all while acting like nothing had changed. Watched TV, made breakfast, smiled through small talk. Monday during lunch, I called my sister Clara. She's always been the responsible one. When our parents died, she handled everything. I needed that strength. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she was silent for so long I thought the call dropped. Then she said, "You need a lawyer, today, and you need to figure out who William is." Didn't take long. Quick search on LinkedIn through Michelle's work contacts. There he was, William Thornton, senior partner, married, 2 kids, that perfect plastic smile in his profile pic. I nearly threw my phone across the break room. 3 days later, I was sitting in the lawyer's office during what should have been my shift. Took more sick leave. She was older, wore her reading glasses on a little chain around her neck. And as I laid everything out, screenshots, notes, the whole thing, she took her time listening and nodding. "You've done solid work," she finally said. "Most folks walk in here with nothing but emotions. You're ahead." Then she broke down the process. What to expect legally, how the money could shake out, how long it might take. It all felt like we were talking about fixing a broken appliance. Replace Part A with Part B and move on. Just before I left, I said, "I don't just want a divorce. I want her to regret ever wishing I'd die." She took off her glasses and looked me dead in the eye. "Revenge isn't my specialty, but I'll make sure you don't get screwed. The rest, that's up to you." That night, I sat across the dinner table from Michelle while she casually brought up office drama, smiling like she hadn't wished me dead in a blizzard. But I wasn't the same man anymore. I had a plan, and she had no idea the storm was coming from my side this time. I've been quietly building everything behind the scenes, gathering more proof, locking things down with the lawyer, moving. Funds, taking my time. Michelle hasn't noticed a thing. She's too wrapped up in her own little fantasy world with William, still convinced she's got the upper hand. But tomorrow, everything starts to shift. That's the day I stop pretending. That's the day I stop shoveling her snow and start shoveling the dirt over this whole fake marriage. I'm almost ready, and she's completely blind to it. Let me know when to continue with the next section. Michelle casually mentioned her training weekend from last month while talking to Clara, my sister, not realizing she was about to walk straight into a trap. Clara said she thought she saw someone who looked exactly like Michelle downtown that same weekend, nowhere near where the training was supposed to be. Michelle froze, tried to play it off, but her excuse was weak, painfully weak. That moment stuck with me, one more little crack in her fake world. Those tiny wins are what keep me going, like the time her credit card got declined at the grocery store after I removed her as an authorized user from our joint account, or when she couldn't log into Netflix because I changed the password. Nothing huge. Just slow, deliberate cracks in the foundation of the comfort she took for granted. It's exhausting, living this way. Keeping up the act, pretending like I don't know the woman eating cereal across from me once joked with her. Lover about me dying of a heart attack. There are moments I come so close to snapping, to standing up and just laying it all out in front of her, just to see the shock hit her face. But I don't. The payoff is too close. I've come too far. Watching her world collapse, inch by inch, is worth more than any outburst. Last night nearly pushed me to the edge, though. She got a call during dinner. One glance at her face and I knew it was about William. She excused herself and disappeared into the bedroom. Came back a few minutes. Later, eyes red, nose running. She'd been crying, and in some twisted way that made me feel good. A dark kind of good. But right behind that feeling was something else, some vague sense of loss. Not regret exactly, just a dull ache where something used to be. I asked if everything was okay. She nodded, muttered something about work stress. The lie was thick, in the air, like smoke you can't quite breathe through. This morning brought a whole new twist. William's wife called me, said she found my number in the phone records after William admitted to a brief lapse in judgment. Her voice was calm, direct. She asked if we could meet. We're grabbing coffee tomorrow. I've got everything printed and ready. William's house of cards is about to collapse too. As for Michelle, the walls are closing in. I checked our call. Logs! She tried calling William 17 times yesterday. 17. And every call went straight to voicemail. That kind of desperation doesn't lie. I've also got a meeting set with HR at Michelle's workplace next week. Not for revenge, not to create a scene, just to quietly inform them that a senior employee has been involved in an undisclosed romantic relationship with someone under her at the firm. The company's own handbook, which I found online, clearly states all relationships must be disclosed, especially when there's a power imbalance. Neither of them bothered. That's on them. Floyd thinks I should speed things up, file, get it over with. But there's something deliberate about the way I'm going about this. I want her to feel that slow-building panic, that quiet dread, the exact way I felt standing in the kitchen staring at her texts, wondering if I'd just read my own death sentence. I want her to realize, too late, that the safety net she counted on has been pulled from under her. Is it petty? Yeah. Is it justified? Without a doubt. If you hope your husband keels over dead while clearing snow for you at 5 a.m, you don't get the luxury of a quiet ending. Tomorrow, it really begins. I've transferred the last of my things to storage, changed my direct deposit at work, locked down all my documents. The divorce papers are signed, sealed, and sitting. With my lawyer, Michelle's about to find out that the man she wanted gone was 3 moves ahead the whole time, and there'll be no gentle landing. Suddenly, she was crying, saying she messed up, that William never meant anything, that those texts were just jokes, twisted humor, that she never actually wanted me dead. I asked her if she'd checked her work email today. She looked confused, then reached for her phone. Her face drained of color the moment she read the message from HR. She had a meeting scheduled for the next morning. Apparently, her company has a strict zero-tolerance policy when it comes to undeclared relationships between supervisors and subordinates. William had already been called in earlier that day. Michelle started crying harder, saying this would ruin her career, destroy her reputation. I reminded her that just last month, she was hoping I'd drop dead in the driveway so she wouldn't have to deal with a divorce. Funny how consequences always feel too harsh when they finally show up at your door. Then she switched tactics. Claimed William had manipulated her, that he was the one who pushed it, that she was fragile after her mom's health scare last year. I just pulled up the texts, ones where she'd initiated the hotel meetups, made fun of me, fantasized about a future where I wasn't in the picture. By midnight, she had gone from denial to bargaining, offered couples counseling, promised to leave her job, swore she'd do whatever it took, even tried to sleep with me, like that would make all of it go away. It was so sad and desperate I almost pitied her. Almost. I locked myself in the guest room that night, could hear her sobbing through the wall. That used to wreck me. Now it was just white noise, like the hum of a busted bathroom fan you keep meaning to fix but never do. The next week was chaos. Michelle got placed on administrative leave while the investigation played out. William somehow managed to keep his position, though they quietly shipped him off to another office across the country. Allison filed for divorce the same day I did, and from what I've heard, she's going after him with everything she's got. Michelle couldn't afford the mortgage on her own, especially not with her job in limbo. She packed her things, just her clothes and a few personal items, and moved in with her sister for now. Watching her pack felt surreal. 8 years of life reduced to boxes and bags. Like we were excavating ruins. Like our marriage was just another relic for her to sort through. The social fallout came fast. Most of our friends sided with me after they heard the basics. A couple stayed neutral, didn't want to get involved. One of Michelle's old college friends actually tried to defend her, said I must have driven her to it. That backfired big time. Floyd, 3 beers deep at a group dinner, looked her dead in the eye and asked, "Is hoping your husband dies a valid reaction to relationship problems?" That ended that friendship real quick. Michelle's family had mixed reactions. Her parents were mortified. Her dad couldn't even look at me when they helped her move. Her sister pulled me aside, said she suspected something was wrong but didn't want to interfere. Admitted Michelle was always the golden child, never held accountable for anything. Honestly, that tracks. Meanwhile, Michelle kept trying to win me back. Daily texts, voicemails, bouquets sent to my office, a 12-page handwritten letter listing every happy memory she could remember, like nostalgia could erase betrayal. She even showed up at Floyd's place one night, drunk and crying until his girlfriend threatened to call the cops. The divorce moved ahead anyway. My lawyer was a machine. Calm, professional, ruthless. Michelle finally got herself a budget attorney, probably her sister's recommendation, who looked shell-shocked when she saw the mountain of proof we'd stacked up. 2 months in, Michelle lost her job. HR found she'd violated several policies. William, of course, threw her under the bus. Said she pursued him, said he tried to end it. Classic move. With no paycheck and nothing lined up, Michelle started spiraling, posting sad, vague quotes on Instagram, reaching out to old friends with a twisted version of the truth. Even contacted Clara, my sister, thinking she might vouch for her. Clara blocked her on everything. The divorce finalized last week. Faster than usual, the lawyer said, thanks to the evidence and Michelle eventually giving up the fight. No kids, no businesses, just assets, and those, by all accounts, tilted in my favor. Yesterday was the first time I'd seen her in person, since she moved out. We met at a notary's office to sign final documents. She looked tired, skinnier, eyes sunken, hair pulled back like she didn't care anymore. I didn't feel anger, didn't feel anything really, just quiet. As we walked out to the parking lot, she tried one more time. Said therapy helped her understand her patterns. Said she still loved me, still believed we could fix it. That losing me had made her realize what mattered. I looked at her, really looked, and told her the truth. Wishing someone dead isn't something you come back from. Some cracks don't get patched. I hoped she found peace, just not with me. She started crying again, standing between a rusted-out Honda and a FedEx truck, sobbing about second chances and new beginnings. I got in my car and drove off. Not all conversations deserve closure. It's been 6 months since that morning, in the kitchen. 6 months of rage, grief, planning, and finally, release. I'm back in my house now. Painted the walls, rearranged furniture, trying to scrub out the ghost of her in every room. Floyd and I still grab beers every Thursday, the kind of guy who'd help you hide a body, metaphorically, of course. Clara checks in almost every day. She worries. Some days I'm okay. Some days I'm not. The idea of dating again feels alien, like planning a trip to Mars. Not impossible, just far off. Trust doesn't come easy anymore. Every conversation feels like a puzzle I'm trying to solve. Michelle still tries to reach out sometimes. A birthday text, a Christmas card, the occasional just checking in. I ignore most of it. I don't really do social media anymore, but I know she's moved away. New city, new job, posted something. Recently about rising from rock bottom over a photo of a beach sunset. Good for her. William's still dealing with his own karma. His transfer wasn't the big promotion he expected. According to Allison, who I still see for coffee now and then, he's in a cramped apartment, juggling bills and alimony. His oldest, daughter won't even speak to him anymore. Lost his club membership. Watching it all unravel piece by piece? Can't lie. It feels good. The house feels quiet now. Not sad. Just open. Like something waiting to be filled. I've been thinking about getting a dog. Always wanted one. Michelle was allergic, or at least she claimed to be. Probably just another lie in a marriage built on them. It's snowing again. Not like that day, just soft flakes drifting down. I still get up early to shovel. Old habit. But now, when I come back inside and check my phone, the only messages waiting are from people who actually care whether I live or die. And for me, that makes all the cold mornings worth it.